really?
I pledge allegiance
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Yeah, and I had done all my opinions of council. It was over, sorry. I did it all. So
Roll call, please.
Mr. Collins?
Here.
Mr. Cruz?
Here.
Ms. Hunsaker?
Here.
Mr. Schwartz? Mr. Unix?
Here. Prior to this meeting, we had an executive session dealing with possible litigation. And we have a set of minutes dated May 28th, 2026. Do we have a motion to approve or change, or what do you want to do with it?
Motion to approve.
Okay, motion is made by Lou,
Second.
seconded by Chris to approve the May 28th Board of Supervisors meeting. Any changes, questions, comments? Roll call, please.
Mr. Collins?
Yes.
Mr. Cruz?
Yes.
Ms. Hunsaker?
Yes.
Mr. Unix?
Yes, motion passes. First public comment period, this one deals with the agenda items. The one at the end of the meeting, we'll talk about anything you want. But do we have any public comment dealing with the agenda items at this time? Please note that it was asked. Okay. Oh, no, that's fine. Is it an agenda item?
Yes.
There you go. If you raised your hand, I'm sorry, I looked right past you.
Yeah, that's, people look past me all the time.
I apologize.
My name's Joe Welsh. I live in the Miller Edgewood community, 6149 Snyder's Church Road. And first of all, I'm happy to meet all of you. I just moved to this community in September. And for those of you who don't know me, by way of background, I'm a lifelong Lehigh Valley resident, spent a number of years in Chicago where I went to law school. I graduated from Lehigh with a degree in government and got a law degree from Northwestern University, and basically spent most of my life in law and government. I've done a lot of political campaigns in this area. Some of my successes are a number of sitting county judges, some magisterial district judges, and state reps and those kinds of things. But like all of you, I believe in community service. So I am on the board of the United Way of the Greater Lehigh Valley. I also serve on the Board of Trustees of Respect Graduate School in Bethlehem, on the board of the Unfinished Business Foundation, created by Richard Master, the president of CEO Industries in Palmer Township, and I serve on the Northampton County Jail Advisory Board and as co-chair of the Institutional Review Board of the Allentown School District. I believe in making our community strong. And so why did I move to a manufactured home community? It's because it is beautiful. It is not only beautiful, it is well managed, it is impeccably maintained. I just had one of the Northampton County judges over 2 weeks ago who was incredibly impressed by how the community is maintained. I had Mr. Master for dinner last Sunday night, and he has a rather large house down in Bethlehem, but says that my setting beats his. And one of the reasons my setting beats his is it is such a well-managed community where it's quiet. And it's quiet because there are all sorts of rules for how the community's run. And those are rules that you can't impose because of the United States Constitution and you're a government body. You can't impose that on other residents. But since I contract to be in that community, Mr. Miller can. And I'm very grateful for that. I can appreciate the birds in the morning. I can appreciate beautiful sunrises, beautiful sunsets. And I am so happy to live there. And what I'd ask of you tonight is, you know, we're coming up on the 250th anniversary of our nation. And what's our nation about? Our nation is about listening to people, and people coming together, and people expressing their viewpoints, and people showing their stories and telling their stories in a formal setting. And that's why I would really encourage you tonight to move this to a public hearing. I would love to come here and, in the context of a public hearing, put on the record how much my life has improved since I moved into Miller Edgewood community. And I'm sure there are a lot of people here who would like to express their concerns about this project. And that's fine too. But keep in mind, we do have a housing crisis in the Lehigh Valley, and it's been well documented by the Lehigh Valley Planning Commission. And the project before you, I think, is very helpful in that we're talking about houses that are sort of like mid-range in the 300,000 range, and that actually helps all of the housing issues in the Lehigh Valley because we are so short of housing units, and obviously we all want to do our part. So all I would ask is just let the people be heard in a formal public hearing. That's what America's about. Let's go ahead and move this to a public hearing. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, since I missed over once, anybody else have a public comment dealing with the agenda items? Yes, sir.
Hi. Hello, my name is Dale King. I live at 6077 Snyder's Church Road, right adjacent to the trailer court. And first I'd like to ask if everyone has a copy of the letter from Kathy and Bart Wagner that was sent to you electronically a few days ago. I know it was sent to 3 of you. I just hope that everybody gets a copy of that letter because it's very concise, very informing, very intelligent of the grievances we have against this trailer court expanding. That's my first question. Second of all, I was here last meeting and asked that if this is going forward, before it goes forward, I still would like to see an environmental impact study, especially in the study of hydrology. My biggest concern here is my parents bought a house in 1965. They lived there till they built a house across the street and moved there. And then I bought their house. Since 65, we haven't had no water problems as far as good, clean, clear water. The people across the street from me, Mrs. Umberger there, last year had to have a tractor trailer brought in full of water to put in their well because of the drought situations we are all living with right now. So my main concern is I don't want to lose my good water. There's a lot of veins of sulfur in this area, and if the water table changes, I'm afraid I'm going to have sulfur water, which I do not want. My grandparents had it, and it never really went away, even though they put filtration systems on it. And I would respectfully ask, how many times can Mr. Miller come back here and try to overrule the board's rulings on that he's not allowed to go ahead with this project? Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anything else for agenda? All right. I have to get my agenda back.
Brent, is that letter in our mailbox?
You should have had an email from it. It was forwarded. I believe
Yeah.
we received
Okay.
it yesterday morning.
It shows up as Brent forwarding an email
Okay.
is what you're looking for.
Look it up then.
We're looking for a motion to ratify the general fund checks 4769 to 4851, which is totaling $489,124.65.
I'll make a motion in the general fund check.
I'll second.
Motion was made by Georgianne, seconded by Lou. Any questions about that? Roll call?
Mr. Collins?
Yes.
Mr. Cruz?
Yes.
Ms. Hunsicker?
Yes.
Mr. Unix?
Yes, motion passes. And then we're looking for a recommendation to ratify the fire fund checks 56 and 57 for a total of $638.96.
So moved.
Motion was made by Chris, seconded by Georgianne. Any questions on that one? Roll call, please.
Mr. Collins?
Yes.
Mr. Cruz?
Yes.
Ms. Hunsicker?
Yes.
Mr. Unix?
Yes, motion passes. Moving into supervisor's business, Brent.
All right, item number A, you have a continuation from last month. We had a discussion. The Planning Commission is recommending the Board of Supervisors consider approving bylaws for the Planning Commission. They would go over the roles of the officers, duties of the commission, as well as just other incidental things like attendance standards and certain things that just are incidental to how they operate. We're really looking at this because some of the members have been aging and looking at not being reappointed, as well as over the years we've had a frequent influx in the last 6-7 years of members joining the commission. They felt it would be better to have some sort of guide, as bylaws could serve in guiding those members on how they would handle things. So the recommendation from the Planning Commission is that you would approve the bylaws through basically a review and consent process. Ultimately, they cannot approve anything without your blessing because they are a recommendation board. So you need to say yes, and then they are authorized then to sign it. So if you look at the bottom of it, it's a little odd in how the signatures are, but you would be signing them, and then the commission would be signing them as well. And it does incorporate some things over the years. We were able to find minutes from the early 90s, or bylaws from the early 90s, that were kind of a tool to be used. Because they weren't electronic at the time, we didn't know we had them. So, is there any questions on what is presented? It does not give them the authority to spend anything. It does clarify the role of staff members and the commission, that they really aren't the bosses of them. There are some responsibilities of the staff and the interactions with them, of notifying if they're not going to be attending a meeting, just so that we have orderly, functional meetings, but.
Okay. Do they really need a secretary?
So the secretary only exists to sign plans for the commission.
That,
I don't know if the MPC requires a secretary.
It does.
But,
It does.
yeah,
well, then that's my answer.
yeah. Otherwise, it would probably save a lot of time when they do their elections, and everybody is fighting not to be secretary, because they do not want to have to sign plans as they come in.
All right. So this is ready for our approval, correct?
This takes into account the changes. The only one that has not changed, there's a recommendation by Jim that based on experiences that an individual may have, that may warrant substituting the requirements for training. I believe there's a training requirement. That training requirement was established by resolution to the board. We've been very lax because of the lack of training opportunities that are available for members, especially if they're working. And some of the trainings that are offered are 3-4 night trainings. But that's pretty much been a flexible item. But this is ready. There's no issues that we've seen based on the comments from the commission as well as markups from staff internally.
Looking for a motion there. So I asked this would be tabled last time so everyone could look at it that wasn't here. My only question was about the grants, and that was answered. So I'm pretty comfortable with it, so I would gladly make the motion to accept the bylaws that were presented to us for the planning commission.
Could you use the word accept
To accept the bylaws
or approve?
from the planning commission that were sent to us.
Motion was made by Chris, Seconded by
Lou, second it?
Lou. Any further discussion needed? Roll call, please.
Mr. Collins?
Yes.
Mr. Cruz?
Yes.
Ms. Hunziker?
Yes.
Mr. Eubanks?
Yes, motion passes.
All right, the next item you have is a consideration of a request for the modification of the Sunny Slope Major Subdivision Sidewalk Deferral. To take you back in history, in 2014, we had an 80-some lot subdivision proposed. That subdivision wound up being 76 lots that finally got recorded 2 years ago. So the subdivision is located adjacent to Bicentennial Park at Hanover Street and Dogwood in the area of Airport Road and Hanover Street. So as one of the preliminary plan approvals, we had them condition that there would be no sidewalks internally in the development, but we would require sidewalks on both sides of Hanover Street, as well as a sidewalk on the south side of Dogwood adjacent to their lot frontage. They have basically claimed they cannot put a sidewalk on Dogwood, and Hanover Street would be difficult. They have not proven and exhausted that it's impossible, but the way they've designed their stormwater in majority of the areas is swale. So they would have to now put curbing in as well as stormwater management basins to handle some of it. As an alternative, after talking with our staff over the last several months on the issue, the developer does not want the HOA to be on the hook when they walk away for the deferral. They wish to do something prior to going out and walking away from the project when it goes to maintenance. They don't want that type of deferral stuck on the 76 homeowners that are going to be responsible for installing such a sidewalk. What they've proposed as an alternative is sidewalks on one side, the west side of Hanover Street, as well as a walking path that would start at Liberto Lane and their property at Hanover Street and go all the way to the new Bicentennial Park Habitat project. It's about 1,800 feet. The walking path in the park is the same frontage roughly as Sunny Slope, but the question for the board is, would you consider this as an alternative? The other question is, do we have a need for sidewalks in any of the areas? If we do, where would you want them? This has been something we've talked about on and off again over the years, and really have evolved and changed in when we require it and when we don't. So the developer has asked for preliminary review. They did not do any engineering. Would we entertain sidewalks on one side and the walking path? I think the walking path is a plus, my opinion as the manager. I think sidewalks probably should be on both sides of Hanover Street. I think it makes more sense for the way that road is laid out and you go down towards Colony. It is a major collector for pedestrians and motorists. Dogwood, there's a lot of development potential to the north, but I don't know how we want to look at Dogwood for the future. Obviously Dogwood connects to Snowdrift and it connects over to Airport Road, and you have quite a lot of right-of-way from PennDOT that would you ever want to go and connect something to the Norbath Trail, maybe there's a logical extension there.
Well, I just let it be known that he knew that from the beginning, and you know how I am about sidewalks and kids waiting for buses on the side of the road. I talked to you about it, and I stopped one time because I saw that where they were setting it up, that you could not put sidewalks in there comfortably. And the thing is that they knew that at the time, depending on where the buses pick the kids up, that the sidewalk should be there. And then when somebody said something to me about, well, we're gonna give it to the homeowners association, I'm like, why would you do that when you knew this from the beginning, but he wanted to deter his costs by that. So I'm a little upset thinking, a park walkway is not keeping our kids safe waiting for a bus. And I don't know, if we could discuss that at a later time, like what could be done. Because I find that all the kids that go down there and the people walking and the people riding bicycles, especially walking, they're going to be set up to get kicked off because people fly on that road. And that's my opinion. And why they would make a homeowners association pay for it when he knew it from day one, it was the only thing that would be the cost for him.
Well, in their defense, it was a deferral to be called upon whenever we call it. And with our deferrals historically, we do not call upon them. So we have quite a few that have been granted over the years. They did not design it for that, knowing there was a deferral. I think they're now trying to take some steps of trying to accommodate something, but also get off the hook on that deferral.
But deferral means it has to be done at a later time, doesn't it?
Well,
Doesn't mean it has to be never
if-
done.
If the township requires it.
It's when the township board,
The township has the right to require it at a time you deem it appropriate. That's what a deferral is. If you never deem it appropriate, it's never called. You have the discretion to call it.
And if you remember, Georgianne, during the course of the development, the current developer that's building this isn't the same developer
Right.
that got the approval. They argued vehemently against curbing and sidewalk throughout the entire thing. The board waived the sidewalk on the interior, required the
Right,
curbing,
and I
waived the
understand that.
sidewalk, but then deferred it along the main road
Right.
because of the future potential need for access to the park and other things. So you did retain your rights during that time.
Right, and I'm fine with the people inside if the kids are not gonna stand, you know what I mean? Because I like that I don't have sidewalks either, because I can go away in the wintertime and not know I'm gonna get a fine when I come back. You know what I mean? And we don't really need it because, you know, our roads are bigger there. But with this, Jandal knew he needed it, and then when they sold it, I'm sure the guy knew that he needed sidewalks at certain places, no?
they did not necessarily know. They have been working on this since they bought the project, and they have acknowledged this is their first development period that does not have any sidewalks as a planned subdivision. That they historically have been in New Jersey, and sidewalks are required everywhere, even along the interior lots. So they're trying to find a balance of where do we really see the priorities of the township and the needs here. I mean, ultimately, you have the right today to go out and say, we want you to have sidewalks on both sides of Dogwood. They're saying, we can do that, but there's some engineering issues. They haven't fully said that this is impossible. I think they're just looking at finding other cheaper alternatives to satisfy what it is.
I'm just thinking, okay, you basically have an L shape of two roads, and they're asking to put sidewalks down one side of one road. Where's it leading to and where's it coming from?
We don't want a sidewalk to nowhere anymore.
It's just, it's gonna be a
Right?
chunk of sidewalk out in the middle of nowhere.
Well, that's true, and what you're looking at here is, from their perspective, they're trying to be a good developer and not saddle the homeowners association with it in the future. If and when that northern section across Dogwood would get developed, this would then give you the link to bring those properties to have the sidewalk along the northerly side of Dogwood along that property, linking then to this sidewalk to get you down to this pathway to get into the park. So that's what they're envisioning, and that's basically the premise of their request is we will set everything up so that if and when those properties to the north get developed, they can tie right into this by putting their sidewalk on their side on the north and coming right into this. So that's their premise.
Which one, where do you mean the north?
On the north side of Dogwood, up on the top here, Georgia.
So where the road curves to the left or the right.
And then it comes in and they're putting them here.
Because I know the one place that's
So,
gonna be
Just to,
protected,
just to
like,
complete the picture from the legal side of it, right? So they are required to provide disclosures to potential buyers. I don't know the status of the community and whether or not they're selling units right now and how many they've sold, but in their, for a planned community in Pennsylvania, they are required to disclose in their public offering statement what the obligations of the homeowners association is going to be in the future. And to set aside and to make sure that appropriate funds are being paid by each homeowner into that HOA association fund in order to pay for that. So I suspect what's happening is that there may be concern by potential buyers, or at least by this developer, there's a concern that having to disclose that information, that there are these deferrals that exist out there that could be very, very costly to the HOA, which would require them to increase their monthly assessments or call special assessments when they come due. Now, that doesn't mean one thing or other. I'm just trying to complete the picture in terms of why this may have come up now, and why, they're
and I know a couple of people that looked at those homes too, and nothing was mentioned about it. You'd have to really be ready to buy it and to find the little hidden part that says, this could be, deferred but can cost you later. And after you pay $1 million for a house, you don't really want to put sidewalks on the street. I mean, I personally wouldn't have wanted to, but I don't know what anybody else thinks.
And that is a valid point. I think on Hanover Street, there are no homes proposed today that will come out on Hanover Street or Dogwood in this development.
I
So
thought
these
they're doing both
sidewalks,
sides of Hanover Street.
but none of those homes have driveways or access points. They all fall on the internal roads that do not have
Are they all gonna
sidewalks.
go off to Dogwood?
Well, no, Dogwood has no driveways. Those homes are built that the rear of the home is facing Dogwood. Same with Hanover Street. It's either the rear or the side.
All the
So they're
homes
reverse
access-
frontage lots.
All the homes access off the interior
Yeah.
roadways, Jim. So basically what they're showing you is they're asking to allow them to put sidewalk on the side where you see there, curb and sidewalk on the
Right.
side
On
that you see there.
On Hanover Street,
On
right?
Hanover Street, nothing along Dogwood,
Mm-hmm.
and then in lieu of curb and sidewalk along Hanover or Dogwood, on the opposite side, they're offering the path into Bicentennial Park as
Mm-hmm.
a, if you relieve us from our deferred obligation,
Mhm.
we will give this path into the park. That's what they're offering. So
But
that's the trade they're offering.
Right. But a lot of people from my development up there are the kids that are going down there. They're not living in those houses, so are they gonna be protected somehow if when they get the bus or ride their bikes to the park? I mean, I'm more
The
worried about
people in your
kids' safety,
development
yeah.
Have
Like-
nothing to do with,
But they all
this
go to the
layout.
park.
well, I know that.
This is not the way to the park from your house.
Right.
That's what-
There
You'd
is a,
actually have to drive past the house, the park, turn around and go back to the park to use this. This is North Street.
What this, or the sidewalks, you mean? They
Oh,
go down
this.
Colony, make a left and go on Hanover Street to go to the park.
Right.
All the kids on their bicycles and the people jogging.
Right, but they would be south of this, Georgiana. They're coming from down here up to here. So
Right.
all of this would have nothing to do with them getting to the park, other than possibly this yellow pathway, that's what they're offering in lieu of having to do curbing
Okay.
or sidewalk in the future.
so the
And then
sidewalks,
where the bus is gonna pick the kids up on these developments, you
Let them know
know?
or call.
We don't know.
No, we don't know.
So they could be standing on Hanover Street, correct?
Yes,
In
and
the street.
by this proposal,
Mm-hmm.
they would have a sidewalk to
On
stand
one
on,
side,
on one
okay.
side. If you call in a deferral, they could potentially be on either side. And if you don't call in a deferral and we don't accept this and leave it go, then this is the roadway, as it is currently.
I think if there's a sidewalk on one side where the bus could pick them up, I think it's better than, than not having any sidewalks anywhere, you know what I mean? And then-
I'm not aware where the buses go in the development now. Not all the homes have been built. I mean, we can reach out to the school district's transportation department and see where their actual routes are and if they had routes,
And if
where they would
nobody
be
else has a
planned.
problem with it, you know what I mean? But
Well, I think
No.
there's some merit to the bus stop and concerns for that. Now,
the
what,
mother in me, you know what I
what-
mean? I don't want anybody run over.
what I will say with the development, they are having issues with the post office, which we talked about
Right,
previously.
they can't even get post office.
They are making them put in cluster box units,
Mm-hmm.
which I imagine those 3 areas in the internal development
Mm-hmm.
would be logical bus stops for people that,
Mm-hmm.
the way they are spaced. So one is at Smith Court, which is the U road around the
Mm-hmm.
park. There's another one, I think, on Frederick, and there's another one on Longacre. So Frederick's the middle road, Longacre's the lower road in the development. So that could alleviate, but the school district, honestly, they can put bus stops wherever they feel that the
Right.
safety is
And
there.
usually they have one spot and everybody has to go to it, so that's my
Typically, yeah.
concern. And sometimes you can see some people, like 10, 15 kids at a bus stop, not in our development, because we don't have that many kids, but kids are moving in now, younger families.
Yeah.
And then even Hanover Township, when you go down there, you can almost run somebody over on that one street, because there's like 15 kids at one stop, and they can't all stand on the sidewalk, so.
So are you done?
I'm
sorry.
done.
Okay. Do I understand this correctly, that if we go with the recommendation,
Well, it's a
It-
request.
yeah, if we're in the parking lot of Bicentennial Park, there will be a sidewalk from the parking lot
Pathway,
There will be a
walking
6-foot wide path,
pathway made
not
out
a
of.
sidewalk,
by 2 minutes.
bituminous pavement,
Okay,
which is wider than the 5-foot they're required to put in for sidewalk.
but there will be access of some sort from the parking lot all the way out Liberto Lane and up to Dogwood.
Yeah.
The pathway along Liberto Lane would lead to the sidewalk along Hanover Street.
And that goes to
Which would
Dogwood.
go north to the curve of Dogwood.
Okay.
If you, Roger, do you want to take a look at this one?
No, I got it.
So-
I'm picturing,
Yeah, seeing-
Yeah, that is one of the most recent proposal. There are other proposals that they've kind of thrown out there, that they said if you were concerned about access to the park, they would put a paved path somehow from one of the lots at Smith Court over. They were talking about, they threw that out. There's been talking about doing widening on the lower section of Hanover Street and curbing. There's been all kinds of proposals that have not been engineered or vetted, but they were throwing out to see, well, would this exhaust it, would this exhaust it? And we finally got to the point of, okay, just give us something and we'll present it to the board and see what your feelings are and what your priorities are and if this matches it.
You know, is the developer planning to pay for this now, or is he gonna?
They're planning on putting it in, as soon as you guys approve anything, they want to get it in this year and start design work.
I know a lot of people are down there, and the road's so small too, and when they're jogging
Well-
and everything, you gotta pull over and you almost hit them.
I believe, Jim, am I not mistaken, does Hanover Street get widened anywhere? Is that currently at its widening?
It's only marginally widened along here. There was no significant
Okay.
widening along there because there is no parking proposed along there.
No,
They
they
are
put
going
gullies
to-
there.
They are going to reconfigure the curvature a little bit to make that more consistent, but the general width of the road is not going to change significantly.
Yeah, because they put like little runoffs there, they put like dips there that you couldn't
Well,
even
there's
put a
swales.
sidewalk.
Yeah, there's swales, and it was always anticipated that if and when they would have to add curbing and sidewalk, the swales would be minimized because rather than having the swales to carry the water, it'll have to go in an inlet along the curbing
Well, it's,
and then pipe to whatever other junction point. So the need for the
so they have
swales
the
would be
grates there
lessened
then,
and they could reduce those.
and that would help more with flooding too, because they do get a lot of water down there when it rains.
Well, they have to design it for flows, whether it's a swale or a pipe, it has to carry the same flow.
But if they put
So-
curbing in, won't they put in a storage, like,
But the flow, the swale is designed to handle the same flow, so it's not gonna change anything. The only difference with the curbing is it's putting it to a certain point where the swale allows it to run continuously along the edge of pavement.
It basically comes down to a very simple, are you comfortable releasing them from the deferral? And if you are you comfortable with accepting the pathway into the park in lieu of curb and sidewalk along the other side of Dogwood and Hanover?
That's the only part we're releasing them.
You're releasing them from curb and sidewalk on the easterly side of Hanover,
Correct.
southerly side of Dogwood, and in lieu of that, they're offering the pathway into Bicentennial Park.
so if there is any more development there, they still have the deferral that they don't have to put anything there, or
No, they're saying,
We get rid
in
of it.
place of the deferral,
Mhm.
this is what they're asking you to accept.
Okay,
And their premise is that if and when the
Mhm.
properties to the north are ever developed, you can require that developer to continue sidewalk along Dogwood that would then tie to this and have the completion as opposed to a so-called sidewalk to nowhere.
now sidewalks in the future would have to be maintained by the homeowner association.
They vote
Now-
on this as well.
Yeah,
Blacktop path in Liberta Lane has to be maintained by us.
That would be my understanding.
So wouldn't we want something better like concrete than blacktop?
Or require them to maintain it. I mean, just because it's on your property doesn't mean that you require the HOA to maintain it. I mean, if you choose to do that, either one,
Or both?
or both.
But it would be cheaper for the homeowners association to maintain that over sidewalks, I would think.
there's more liability with sidewalks to some
depends on
degree
who you
because
get
of
to do
tripping,
it though.
but they are more durable. I will tell you, they'll probably be a maintenance nightmare sidewalks for us, because just mowing and other things, the macadam seems to be easier in the walking paths we do have.
Or as
Most-
long as like, if the homeowner association maintains it,
Don't matter.
then it doesn't matter to me.
Yeah, 'cause, I don't think our maintenance guys should have to take care of everything
So,
like
so
that.
this is basically a
No.
fact finding, because, you know, we were at a point where we said, guys, give us something to take to the board. You know, they kept throwing out, well, what about this idea, what about that idea, what about this idea? we said, you guys have to come up with a plan that you feel you guys are comfortable with, that the board can consider, you know, this back and forth stuff wasn't getting us anywhere.
And who's the engineer on this?
Langen Engineering is who did the original plans and has been utilized by the current developer as well.
Okay.
I like the idea of walking path, but I don't like the idea that we have to maintain it.
I'm just trying to like picture the maintenance. I mean, obviously we'll do some crack sealing if there's
But we
divots
still
and
gotta
low
maintain it.
spots. But, I mean, we're not plowing it, obviously, because we don't plow our current walking paths. I'm looking,
Keep in mind, you don't even have to accept any of this.
I
And
understand.
you could turn around tomorrow and say, guys, put it all in. I mean, you have that right as part of your development.
No, I understand. But like Georgianne brought up, the only way into the park back Liberta Lane right now is the road.
well, we do have an access point in the corner at Apache, that there is
But
something.
I'm just saying, if
but
you're
it's
going
not-
back Liberta,
Correct.
there's
There is
the
nothing.
road.
And this would take care of that.
This would be similar to what's at West Park with the walking path that's parallel to Pavilion A and Field 1, where you have, or not Field 1, it's the Field, Tom, all the way down at the end of the park. 6. So it would be similar in design, that it would parallel the road, that people aren't walking on the road as well. That is something that our rec board has had concerns with over the years. That people sharing the road and speeding and walking and biking, and now we have the advent of e-bikes and other things coming into the park.
There's a lot of activity down there. I mean, did we just find out about this now?
What do you mean?
Like, how long have they been requesting this?
They've been working on this for several months, but I don't think we got the proposal until 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
Or no, it was before your
This is the first I
workshop.
heard of it, so.
It was before the workshop meeting, but we didn't have a full board and I wasn't presenting
Right.
it at that time with 3 members.
Right. And I just wanna make sure people are safe. I mean, whatever everybody decides to do is one thing, but not a big road to begin with.
Yeah, the fact that along Hanover Street and Dogwood, the properties that are being built, the homes that are being built, it's their backyard. It's not their front yard.
Mm-hmm,
That sort of changes it for me.
mm-hmm.
As long as there's a safe way to get across from their development to the west side of Hanover, or Hanover Street, or to Liberta Lane, as long as there's a safe way to get there. I'd have no problem with the walking path, I guess, as long as we're not maintaining it. If you want to take that back to them.
So, then to summarize, the board is open to considering relieving him of their deferred obligation based upon this proposal, and then maintaining the pathway in perpetuity.
Correct.
Pending,
And they already have to maintain the sidewalk, so
Right.
that doesn't even have to be brought up.
Exactly.
And they're gonna start the sidewalks on Hanover Street, on the one side with the curbing.
Right. It would be curbed and sidewalk
Mhm.
on the westerly side.
Now with that curbing and stuff like that, are they gonna put in those, the things that you clean out, what are they, like surge
Storm
things?
drains.
Are they putting the, what are they called?
catch basins? So we're talking about catch basins?
Yeah, the catch basins.
Yeah.
Inlets.
Yeah, that's.
Yeah, I mean, because, it does flood around a lot down there, so I wanna make sure it's going somewhere besides the road.
Right, yes, and as I said, we would anticipate, as part of this design, that they would provide calculations to show how many inlets they need along there, and then those inlets will be either piped directly to the other facilities that are already in place,
Okay,
or discharged into, if they do maintain any of the swales that are along that.
and they'll take care of the sidewalks too,
Well,
the Hanover
it'll be,
Street. Yeah,
sidewalks are
I mean,
typically
they're gonna
sloped.
maintain them though,
Yes, the homeowners
Okay.
association would be responsible for the sidewalk maintenance.
okay.
I have no problem with that either. as long as those conditions are met.
As long as the conditions are that it get, the walking path gets maintained by our specs, not theirs.
Mhm.
I don't think that would be an issue. Is the board's fine with that?
Yes.
I'm good.
Okay, we'll take that back to the developer and report back to the board on their response.
Okay, thank you.
We very well may have them come in before you, just to hash it
Yeah,
out,
I
that
thought
it's
they
not
would
a.
be here or something.
No, no,
This
this
is
was,
just for our opinion.
we've had enough proposals that I didn't want to have them incur additional costs and things if you guys really weren't interested,
Okay,
so.
good. Okay.
All right, the next item you have is a recommendation to authorize the township staff to proceed with advertising for a public works storage building. Several years ago, we did some site tours, we looked at our facilities, we demolished a facility at Weaversville Road in front of the FRCA that was clearly beyond its useful life and had several issues. We also have a salt shed that's been converted to a storage building that's probably beyond its functional life for us. And if nothing is done, something has to be done to it. So we made some improvements to the front building at the Public Works garage. We included new windows, roofs, insulation, doors, all kinds of upgrades to it. Our guys were able to save some money and replace the lights in the inside of the building themselves, so they're now all LED lights. We've come a long way with it, but the obvious issue we have is a lack of storage space. What we are proposing now is a 7,200 square foot full building. It is down in size from the original proposal and the last time we presented something to you, but it will be a 6-bay building, but it'll be 2 storage areas. There needs to be a concrete masonry wall in the center to create a fire-safe containment area, that if there's a fire in one, it doesn't go to the other, and that's from floor to peak. As well as there will be electrical installed, it's gonna have a 400 amp service. There also will be a backup generator installed. I believe we're speccing a 15 kW, which should be adequate to handle whatever's in there in the event we would lose power. As well as we are looking at putting in 2 heating units, but 3 connections in the building, and that will be a propane unit. The building will have floor drains, concrete floor. I believe there's 4 windows. There's 3 exterior man doors, 2 interior man doors. It is nothing fancy by any means. It's a plain Jane building with electric. The outlets are not even throughout the whole building. It's basically the front walls for the garage doors, lower for tools, as well as the interior wall. And then there'll be some outside exterior lighting for security purposes, as well as lighting for when the guys are plowing in those nighttime operations. So we really don't have a cost estimate because the last one was based on a already pre-bid contract price. So the range that we're looking at can vary. So we're top line is $950,000 for everything. Before, when we went for proposals, it was like 780 some thousand, but that did not include the generator and it did not include the heating system at that time. So I don't believe that's going to add another 100 some thousand, but there are some alternatives that we would like to explore, such as paving the inside of the yard, just to provide some area between the 2 buildings that isn't dirt that we're cleaning up or mud that we're traveling in. So, is there any questions so far?
The outside lighting, sounds like there's probably gonna be additional to what's there now.
Yes.
As long as it doesn't bother the neighbors.
None of it is on, so the building's gonna be facing north-south,
Right.
but the face is actually east-west. There's nothing on the north or the south, and there's nothing on the west side of the building. There's gonna be 3 lights that we talked about that'll be security lights by the man doors themselves, and the other ones will be between the garage bays. There's 4 that will be on a switch to turn on, and they will be down lights at the top of the building, up
Okay.
right below the soffit. So nothing like a floodlight going out.
And parking lot light. type?
Correct.
Yeah, okay.
So nothing beyond what we currently have now. There might be the building, the block, there might be a little bit of the area that'll come out. If that does, we can always relocate wall packs at that time. We certainly can have the contractor provide a photometric to see where the light cast is being shown and incorporate that into the bid spec. It's not an off-the-wall thing, but there's nothing to make it worse.
Industry standard these days is to use cutoff lighting so that it directs it directly down.
Did you have something, Tom?
No, I was gonna tell you, what we have in our building now is all the lights face down.
Yeah.
Perfect.
We propose.
I know we don't get any complaints from the neighbors, and I don't wanna get complaints.
Yeah, the only building that has a light that flashes out is this building in the back, and it was because the street light that was in the back got knocked down in a windstorm, and we needed light to light up the parking lot for the fire department, because they use soffit lighting. So that was the light that was installed, so. I wouldn't anticipate any more issues. The street light that was at the building is removed, so there is actually less light than what we have.
Dogwood, that's right.
So does the board have anything question-wise? If not, we're looking for a recommendation to authorize the township staff to proceed with the advertising for public works storage building.
So moved.
Second.
Motion was made by Chris, seconded by Georgie Ann. Any further questions, comments? Roll call, please.
Mr. Collins?
Yes.
Mr. Cruz?
Yes.
Ms. Hunziker?
Yes.
Mr. Unix?
Yes, motion passes.
The only question that I have is, obviously, with the loss of the building down at the park, at the FRCA, we've lost some storage space and the crew's coming up to the Public Works building every morning. So we're losing some time that we would normally do cutting in the morning, and their schedule now is 6 to 2. Would the board consider just doing a storage building, nothing else included with this bid, like a size of like a 20 by 20, or just 2 garage bays basically, down at the park, near one of the pavilions? I don't have a location or anything, but it's just something that, not looking at anything crazy, but right now we started using the green storage building at the old Weaversville State Hospital. We fit stuff in there, but there's stuff that probably shouldn't be in there, like our $120,000 mowers. So it's just something that maybe we can put in and incorporate this. I can certainly bring it back to you. What we would do is make it an add alternate, would not be part of the proposal, that it's a base bid item. We would just make it an add alternate and show a project location.
Is it, the only place for storage down there is that the little building, correct, in the park?
Yeah, the little green building, or you mean our maintenance garage at the park, yes, that's the only spot we have.
And that maintenance garage does not fit a pickup truck.
Yeah, I know, I see.
Yeah, it fits our
So the problem
11
is
foot.
The door is so low, so.
But even the
right-
ceiling height, I don't even know if you could
Yeah,
get,
and right
like our
now, we
vehicles
have-
that don't have the ROPS canopy that folds, they don't fit in that garage.
So we keep the UTV in there, the zero turns, the other big Toros that are in there. The one Toro does not fit in there, and that's the one that's too high. We haul that back and forth every morning, every afternoon, every morning, every afternoon.
And how are we gonna know what cost on that thing?
Well, we would just include it as an add alternate if we don't bid it,
Oh,
that this is, we'll put it in, and I wouldn't even, I would put 2 garage doors in. I mean,
The maintenance itself, like, we would still do our maintenance at the garage we have now down there. Like our blade sharpening and all that, the air compressor, all that stuff will stay in there. I'm just looking for somewhere to store. our
right now,
stuff.
we maintain 92 acres and we have the same equipment that a country club does. And it's costly equipment, but it's being stored in buildings that probably aren't safe. I mean, the one storage building has no cameras, the other one does, but you can't fit things there. It would just be nice to add that capacity. Now, we would have it as an alternate bid. We would not have to award it. You could go out and say we're walking away from it. I wouldn't do anything fancy. I would do 2 garage doors and a man door. The electric and everything else we can put in at a later time after the project is done for a year. I think we have handy guys and contractors that can do that work relatively easy.
We're gonna build it, might as well make it secure and put a security system in it the day we turn the key.
We can do that.
I have no problem with that.
Problem.
That sounds good to me.
Okay. I will work on something, and I think the bid specs are pretty much gonna be done in a week or two anyway. We're still working on some final details, but we wanted permission to advertise. I will send something by email, and if there's any objections to what we send over, I'll let you know when you get it. If there is, we'll bring it back for that item. If not, we'll proceed.
Okay. I think we need another motion for that add-on.
Correct, and add alternate to include a 20 by 20 storage building to be located at Bicentennial Park.
So moved.
Second?
Motion was made by Lou, seconded by Chris. Everybody understand?
Yep.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Collins?
Yes.
Mr. Cruz?
Yes.
Ms. Hunsaker?
Yes.
Mr. Euning?
Yes, motion passes.
All right, next item we have, I believe they're out in the hallway. Consideration of request for a zoning text and map amendment for 8230 Airport Road, Miller's Manufactured Home Community. They were here previously. Oh, they are. Gentlemen, you have the floor to do a presentation.
Well, I'm actually going to ask for something different, given the fact that I just learned that one of the members wasn't here, so we have 4 members. We would ask to the extent that we can request that it be tabled, given the fact that we don't have a 5th member, and we could wind up with a 2-2, in which case my clients would lose. We would like to table it and ask for it to be continued to the next hearing where we will have a full board.
The only issue with that, obviously, is that we never know, if illnesses or something like that, or vacations are gonna interrupt the next meeting, but certainly, let me explain to the board members. So, the applicant, in the event that there are an even number of board members, and there would be a vote on the request this evening, a 2-2 vote would be a denial of the application, or the request. And so the applicant has the right to request an extension or a continuance to be placed on another agenda. This is not a curative amendment or anything like that where we have a time frame that we have to be worried about under the municipality's planning code. So there's nothing that we have to worry about in terms of the timing of this presentation. So I understand that Attorney Durkin has requested that the matter be tabled from tonight and to be carried over to the next business.
Yes.
And Brent, we would have to look to you to see what the availability is for the next meeting or two.
I will corral the cats and get a schedule.
Can you make sure
No,
that mic is on so I can hear you?
Yeah, I can coordinate with the board and the applicant on the upcoming meetings. I know we were setting some meetings at the end of July. I don't know who's gonna be here for the workshop meeting this month, and then the next meeting for July with the holiday. So I can coordinate with all 3 of them.
We'll do the
and
best
all
we can
5.
to advise you as when we believe we're gonna have 5 board members. Obviously, something could come up at the last minute. But again, it's at the board's pleasure, but they do have the right to request that the matter be tabled.
Okay.
All right. So we don't need to vote on it or anything like that. There's nothing before us that requires any action this evening under the MPC. So we will hopefully coordinate through Brent and the staff here, and we'll see you at a future date.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Guess as a general note, since there was individuals here for the discussion,
Yes.
if you want to leave your information with us, our staff will contact you to make sure that you're present for the time that that presentation is done and discussion by the board is made.
Yes, thank you, Brent.
Yeah, just so that you're not checking agendas.
All right, thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Oh, we're not full board? What happened with-
All right, moving on, under item number E, we have a consideration of a request to appoint an additional sewage enforcement
Can I
officer.
stop you? I have a confused look. Do you understand what just took place?
I understand we wasted our time coming here tonight.
No, you didn't really waste your time. We listened
I
to you.
understand it's not your fault, but it's frustrating.
So,
This is the 3rd meeting I've come to now, and it seems like they just keep asking for more meetings. Sorry, I look disgusted.
no, I just didn't understand. I wanted to make sure you understood what took place.
Yeah, there's not 5,
That's fine. Okay.
but I don't know why they couldn't tell you what they want now, since you're not gonna vote on it tonight, correct?
Well, they are asking
Yeah,
for,
we
so
were gonna-
we do know what they want, and they have filed a request before the board, so the board is aware of what the request is, and that if you don't have that information, we can certainly make that information available to you. But I think the applicant was expecting this evening to make a presentation that the board would take action on.
Yes.
And that's the reason why they requested that the matter be tabled.
So if there was a fifth person here tonight, you could actually vote on this subject.
No, vote to have a hearing.
Vote to have a hearing, yes. So as Mr. Eubanks indicated, they're simply requesting that the board advertise the requested amendment to the ordinance to have a public meeting for public input and a presentation by them. The municipality's planning code requires there be a public meeting advertised and information provided to you and others regarding what the request is to amend the zoning ordinance. Tonight's request was simply for the board to consider having that meeting, because the laws in Pennsylvania do not require the legislative body to take action on a landowner request to rezone their property. So the board doesn't have to take any action, but when an applicant comes before the board and asks them to do that, then generally they will consider and determine whether or not they want to move it forward. That does not mean that they granted the request, it simply means they granted the right to a public meeting,
Understood.
okay?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And if the board, if you were not present and move forward with a public meeting, as an adjoining property owner, you would be notified of the hearing and you would have standing and be able to participate in such a hearing. Today is not a hearing though.
I don't understand it either though, because there's 4 of us here, and if we would vote, they're saying that 5 of us have to be here to vote to have it.
Well, if it's a tie.
If we would make a motion, as an example, to have the hearing,
Okay,
okay? We could lose by a 3-2 vote, in which case there would be no hearing. A
okay,
2-2 vote is also a loss, no hearing.
okay.
And that's what the potential of a 2-2 is the same thing as a loss.
Okay, now I understand. I didn't understand that either.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Have a good evening, guys.
Thank you.
Everybody
Good
okay
night.
over there before they leave? Everybody
Good night.
okay over there on your side? You're right, okay, thank you, gentlemen.
Okay.
All right. We have a request to appoint an additional sewage enforcement officer. Hanover has hired another person to handle sewage enforcement. It's not somebody that probably will be working directly with East Allen, but in the event some sort of perk
Thank
test
you, everyone. Have a good
or
night.
site observation needs to be done or enforcement
for
action,
coming.
and somebody else would not be available, we would go out and be able to use this official. Appointments have to be done by the municipality, and then they have to be forwarded to DEP. So it's our recommendation that you would appoint Sean Cunningham as a additional SEO for East Allen Township.
It's merely to provide us additional flexibility to make sure that if something would, come up in the township, we have additional people that are allowed to monitor and help out. It doesn't change anything other than having the bodies to be able to work in the township.
And is that more cost then for every time you go out? More cost to the township or?
There is no change in cost
So-
or anything.
Okay.
It's just that, let's say, Jake's our primary SEO for the township.
Okay.
If Jake can't get here, and he has to send somebody out to witness a perk test or something like that, this would give him the flexibility of, okay, if Jake can't make it, and Luke can't make it, and Paul can't make it, I still have Sean's approval to be in the township.
Okay, thank you.
So costs right now, the applicant pays for any of those costs for the permit. So whether it's a repair, whether it's a replacement, or whether it's a new system. The only time that we would be paying the cost would be enforcement action. Anything else, they pay the fee, and if it goes above and beyond, they actually reimburse us the cost of going above and beyond.
Okay.
So there is no cost. It would be the same fee schedule. We don't pay more for one versus the other, but that fee is typically covered by the permit cost that we have.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so we're looking for a motion to approve Sean Cunningham as an additional SEO for East Allen Township.
I'll make an approval for,
I'll second.
Motion is made by Georgianne, seconded by Lou. Everybody got it? Roll call, please.
Mr. Collins?
Yes.
Mr. Cruz?
Yes.
Ms. Hunziker?
Yes.
Mr. Unix?
Yes, motion passed.
Thank you, everyone.
Next item we have is discussion on chipper replacement. So Tom is here for that reason. We have a 2004 Bandit that is going to be a Bandit in cost when we replace some of the components that are starting to fail. The chipper is currently out of service because of a electrical component.
Yes, so right now there's a safety switch for it, that's a valve on the top, which doesn't allow you to operate it. I'm waiting for that part to come in, but there's also a miss in the flywheel. So when we have to start the chipper, we gotta take a wire, hook it to this piece of metal, and then hook it to the starter in order for it to, you just have to keep tapping it for it to get away from that miss, and then it'll fire up. But
And there's a problem with that, why?
And I just want to say, with that being down, with it's detrimental, we had a tree come down 2 Saturdays ago in Jacksonville Park, and had to load everything in dump trucks. And in this last storm we had 12 trees come down. And, we're loading everything in the back of the truck instead of
The
taking.
fact that a machine like that, which takes abuse,
Oh,
lasted
and again,
22 years?
I can tell you right now, the meter has 276 hours on it. That's not the hours on the machine. A couple years ago, we had to replace the whole electronic mechanism, and there has to be at least over 1,000 hours on that machine. So there's probably close to 1,500 hours on that machine.
It's 22 years old.
Yeah, so,
I mean, we're roughly using it, just in the last 3 years with the 276, it's 92 hours a year.
Seems to be Public Works Day today.
unfortunately,
So-
I hate it, but it's one of the vital pieces of machinery that.
I'm just picking on you.
Tom has gotten an estimate to replace it with the current model. We were looking at, I think it's $99,000, somewhere in there.
Yeah, that's the Bandit, and then I found another one, which is a good make, it's a Vermeer, which is another good vendor and a good chipping machine. I mean, that's down into only 70, not only, but 70,000, better than 90-some thousand.
They're
That-
good, they're very good machines.
And
First one,
that,
the second one.
They're very
What's-
good.
What I like about, what I like about the Vermeer is a lot of it is all enclosed. So all the hydraulics, all that kind of stuff is enclosed in the cabin where it's not exposed out to, the weather and stuff like that.
But you'll have
think
a
it had a-
garage to put it in.
Is there anything on CoStars?
well, that
They
is
are
the
Oh, they are.
co-stars.
Yep, yep.
So even with the
That makes our life
co-stars,
easy, thank you.
yeah, those two
I-
are co-stars.
I pretty
And
much don't look at anything unless it's Coast Guard.
Okay.
now the other thing with the Vermeer, I think it had a better engine. I don't,
It
was
has a
it?
better engine, it also comes with a winch.
Yeah.
So if we have to drag a large tree, it has a winch already attached to it.
Can you get extended warranty for that, or is that?
Yeah, well, you'll get the standard warranty. I believe it's a 2 or 3 year warranty. I think it's a 5-year warranty on the engine.
Okay.
What's the maximum diameter?
They're
12
both
inches.
12
The one I was
inches.
looking at, I mean, I don't need anything
Yeah.
bigger than that.
What's
The
what's
Herman's
now?
12.
Our current's 12?
Yep, yep. So like I said, I wasn't looking at anything bigger. I was looking at what we currently own and try to stick with that.
If it's bigger than 12, Tom just picks it up and moves it off the road.
And with how the FRC operates now, I gotta chip everything because they don't accept anything longer, bigger than that.
So we should get that place straight.
So we do have surplus funds. It's not currently in the general fund budget, but we do have a couple CDs that we've been banking on for a rainy day for building improvements that we could pull from. I did not run a year-to-date report to see if we have a surplus or not with the current tax coming in.
Yeah, well, what scares me is, well, not scares me. What concerns me is the $1 million that we have in a building, plus this. And I currently cannot pull off the top of my head where we're sitting financially. If if we could supply that for the next meeting.
If you go to treasurer's report, there should be an amount in there.
Let me go there.
And then,
Why can't I go there?
so this is a new CD that we voted on. No, and this is an existing. So that's the one amount, and that's the existing amount.
Okay. I'd like the overall picture though.
Well, if you look at the treasurer's,
I'm trying to pull that up.
Oh.
My computer doesn't like me.
he has it up if you want to see it. I can get you an updated report for tomorrow of the overall.
Yeah.
Additionally, the other thing, we did not do a road project this year, and based on the township line grant covering the majority, we do have 200,000 that is kind of sitting there, that was allocated for a project. And we have, let's say it's 400,000 in liquid fuels, is that, let me scroll up just a little. Yeah, 420,000 based on last year's allocation and this year's allocation, so. I do anticipate having a surplus this year, just based on where we're currently at.
Not $1 million.
What was that?
Not $1 million.
Not $1 million, but at least for the 75 for the chipper.
Thank you.
I can get you a report though for the next meeting.
Yeah. Board's wishes.
I have no problem waiting to see what the numbers are.
You're getting this fixed, right?
Yeah, well, I'm getting the safety part.
Sorry, I don't understand.
I can't get the flywheel fixed, because in order to replace that flywheel, they gotta remove the whole engine, put a new flywheel in, and you're
Okay.
talking a lot of money that I don't think we should put in that.
Yeah, I think the estimate, it was over 20,000 for the flywheel.
Because the way that's designed, you have to remove the whole engine, so. But yes, I am getting the safety part of it fixed. So at least I'll be able to use it in the meantime.
Is there any way, is there any way with jumping it the way we're jumping it to get it to start?
Oh,
Is there any
there's
way
no other
that,
way, no.
I have to ask this, is there any way that's an OSHA violation?
Oh, I guarantee it. 'Cause basically-
Let's vote on a new
That's what I
chipper this
figured you were
evening.
trying to
The only reason I'm saying that is that was a trick that was given to me by the mechanic. And he's like, listen, if you need.
Yeah, I heard enough.
Yeah. I had to ask that question, I didn't wanna ask that question.
I'll be honest, truthfully,
So-
like I said, if you ever seen the movie Down Periscope, it's like.
Alright,
Can we record you doing that?
looking for a motion,
Motion to pursue the purchase of a new chipper.
Vermeer.
I'll second that.
Okay, motion was made by Chris, seconded by Georgianne to purchase the Vermeer. Is there a
Oh,
number,
it
do
is
we
the
have a
Vermeer you
number?
want?
He has the quote.
Yep.
What do you do with the old one then?
Well, the old one, I don't know if I would sell it with the issues it has. I would probably scrap it.
Yeah.
if we know there's
I
a
just
known
wanna make
issue,
sure
unless,
that, you know,
unless we can
someone-
have Joe type up a very strong disclaimer that this is as is, but.
There you go.
Right, I just didn't know if you could sell
So-
parts that weren't working or if you have to scrap it somewhere, but.
I mean, if there's somebody that has it that can use it for parts, as a municipality, we could sell it to them directly. I don't think anybody does, and I don't think anybody wants a 2004 chipper. But the price on this quote is $73,506. They did add sales tax, so we're looking at $73,506 for a 2026 Vermeer BC 1500 120 or 172 horsepower gas drum chipper.
Okay, that's what the motion and second was for.
Yes,
Machine,
very
correct?
I got you.
Okay. Sorry, it was a question I had to ask.
Mm-hmm.
I had to ask. I could not have that in my head and not ask that question. Okay, anything else? Roll call, please.
Mr. Collins?
Yes.
Mr. Cruz?
Yes.
Ms. Hunsicker?
Yeah.
Mr. Unix?
Yes, and what's the delivery on that one?
I'd have to contact them tomorrow, but I'm pretty sure they have them.
I think it was in stock. It's
Yeah.
something that.
Okay.
Like I said, it's not a ginormous machine. I went with what we currently have.
Okay.
Trying to get out of the screen.
So get that one as fast as you can, and
I'll call them first thing in the morning.
do not use the other
Thank
machine
you.
any longer.
All right, and then the last item on the agenda is a recommendation to appoint the 2026 summer camp counselors. We have 14 counselors we are looking at hiring this year. They're typically, we hire 12 or 13. We're asking for an additional because there's a couple of children that have signed up that should have more attention based on disabilities and other things, and we don't want to take away from the requirements for the other kids. So we are looking at hiring 2 head counselors, and 12 would be counselors. And total cost, it would be, once I get to the actual page, should be $32,500, which is historically covered by summer camp registrations. This year, our registrations are down a little bit. They usually do pick up the last 2 weeks and the week of camp. So there might be one that we may ask to come in part-time hours if need be, so that we're still covering our cost. I did give you numbers in the report. In 26, we have 84 participants, 25, we had 139, 24, we had 135, 2023, we had 146, 2022, we had 129. So we've kind of hovered between 129 and 146. So I'm not sure if it's just a generational thing, the year, increase of prices for people, that they're cutting something out. A lot of times we struggle with keeping people because they have to pick up their kids. They can't be there all day, so they have to find childcare.
Right.
So we do lose out on that. I will report most of the registrations are non-residents, so.
And a lot of these are the same councils we had last time, right?
Correct. There's only 2, I think, or 3 that are new. So. But last year we had a good group of kids. We had good participants. We're looking at the same. I don't know when we started this program, but I know it is over 30 or 40 years old, because it used to be in this building, and then it was at Jacksonville, and now it's at Bicentennial.
Well, my son's 40 and he went to it, and, you know, so even, he went when he was like 7 or 8.
30.
And Crystal went to it, she's 32, so, and that was at East Allen, so they've been there for
48 years.
48 years, yeah?
48 years.
Yeah, 'cause it's
It is
been
one of the
almost
longer
38.
summer camp programs that's been around.
My sister is one of the first well,
Really?
my sister
Isn't
was
that nice?
the
camp.
first counselor.
Get out.
So I guess I'll be glad to make the motion to hire the counselors on condition of successful background checks.
So all of them have passed except for one, just so
Okay.
you're aware. And it's not that he hasn't passed. We had somebody
I
not
haven't
pick
done
up a packet, not pick up a packet, and say, I don't wanna do it, and waited till 2 weeks ago. So we're
Now,
still
is
going
Chuck
through
still
it.
overseeing the program?
He is. He is overseeing it,
He
and
does a good
there's,
job with this.
He does.
All right.
I'll second it, or don't you need that?
Yes, we do. Okay, motion was made by Chris, seconded by Georgianne to hire 14 counselors at the wages that is listed in our agenda. Right? It had it, didn't it?
That's correct.
Yeah,
Yeah. Questions? Roll call?
Mr. Collins?
Yes.
Mr. Cruz?
Yes.
Ms. Hunsicker?
yes.
Mr. Unix?
Yes, motion passes.
that's all.
Excuse me. Okay. Now, my computer, I think I have the general public's version pulled up on my computer, because I can't open
You
it.
can't see anything.
I can't see anything.
Okay.
So I'll just shut it.
Confidential, Roger.
It's confidential. Come on, let me in on it, please. All right, moving on to the staff reports. We have nothing under manager, nothing under secretary.
Do have just a general note. I am working on a list of ordinances that have to be revised and amended, and you will be getting an email on that. I will let you know, and then that will be placed on an agenda. There's quite a few with the zoning changes that we're making, as well as those that have been brought up over the years that have to be tweaked. But we are looking at, I think the count is at 9 amendments or additions to ordinances outside of zoning. That's not including that. So just expect something for that.
Okay, nothing under secretary, treasurers, we have their report, or her report, Chris's report, any questions? Okay. Tax collector, any questions? Comments?
Believe we are at 97% collections.
That's fantastic, actually.
How about it?
Just as a note, the county has done some massive reassessments throughout the township, but in particular one development. And there was 300 interim bills that have been issued to residents in the township. So people will be getting increases on their taxes if you
Which
made an
area?
improvement. Toll Brothers. So,
Oh,
It's a pool tax.
I know,
Something with
it's,
the pool.
because they replaced their pool, even though it was the same existing pool, but they pulled a permit, the county has gone out and reassessed all of the homes and properties on it. And I don't know if the bills have gone up $1,000 or if the values have gone up $1,000. I did not get copied on any of the assessments that they have.
I think the
So-
If their bill goes up
more
by
than that.
$1,000, that's a problem.
That's a big, I don't think it would be.
I
I
don't,
think it,
The assessment they probably
The
raised, and then you
assessment.
multiply the assessment by the 5.55 common level ratio, so it comes out to about $5,500 in additional value to the house that's being taxed.
correct,
Then you multiply that by the tax rate, and you get your tax, yeah.
yeah. I mean, if it's a school district multiplying, it's going up. If it's a township,
4.5.
but there's also been some confusion because they were taxing open space and recently went through an appeal and they actually had to stop taxing the open space parcels that are in the development. But there's other properties beyond that that are now included in that. So just as a note, if you get an email, a phone call, we've gotten a couple here. I did talk to somebody today extensively about it. They're very concerned and I said we do not control assessments. That's a county level function. You have to go through the process. There is appeals. You have to follow those deadlines. I believe they were talking about doing a class action appeal to the tax assessment board, but I told them that they have to follow through, that they do not miss the deadline, so just as a note for taxes. But they're calling Joy thinking she's the one that is doing this, and Joy is only responsible for collection of taxes, not for the imposition of a tax or increasing of assessed
Yeah,
value.
reassess.
Oh, we don't like that word.
I probably feel like they're being singled out too.
That was a lot of it, what it felt like, but I said anytime there's an improvement to any property in the township, you are reassessed for the value of that improvement, but it is based on the value from 1995. So it is a starkly different, and your assessed value is 50% of your appraised value from 1995.
How long is Toll Brothers?
So
Don't they apply for a permit here?
they applied for a pool permit, I believe that's what triggered it. I have not talked to the county assessment office to confirm anything.
Because we would go out for that, right? Not them.
No, the county goes out, the county assessor that's assigned to our area would go out and determine the improvement value. And
Okay.
then they would get a notification. We release our permit logs to them monthly. They come in and look at our permits if they're not available electronically, and then they go out and assess a property.
Oh, I didn't know that.
How long is Toll Brothers there? 5 years?
Longer than that,
Oh,
they
yeah.
started
It was
2020.
Remember they were building during COVID
Yeah,
and
we
everybody had to
we
fit over
started that
that?
project and had to follow protocol for COVID and things of
Yeah,
that
the
nature.
first couple homes were in 2020, and then that bunch were in 2021.
And they did a
after.
reassessment in 6 years.
Well, because of the improvements, and they have continually made improvements too. I don't know if it's from the pool, or if it's, they put in a patio, they put in pergolas.
Oh.
There are a lot of different things that could
I
happen.
got
I can't
I
look
got you
at
now.
and say, yeah, this is what happened. I could imagine the pool house went up because of the pool, but it wasn't a change of square footage of the existing pool. It was, there was cracks and they had to replace it.
Is that the homeowners association too, right?
Well, it was the developer that was on the hook for it with the builder,
Oh,
because it was dedicated to the HOA.
okay.
So, that's all.
Okay, sounds good.
Hmm.
Engineers, we have the report, and I have the right agenda pulled up now, so I'm good. Anything, Jim?
Regency probably finished their paving as of yesterday or today, and as far as Farmhouse Village over in the Hanover portion, they did their water tap and things like that, so that project is continuing on. Jacksonville Road has been closed this week for them to do their roadway improvements and things like that. So if you drive down Hanoverville Road and look to your right on Jacksonville, you'll see curb and sidewalk along that roadway now.
Yeah, I saw it. I saw it the other
Not a
day.
walking path.
Well, that sidewalk as part of their project in East
Obviously.
Allen is a deferral, but it's
That
a two-year
is-
deferral.
That is another deferral.
They do have to take the sidewalk from the intersection of Jacksonville and connect it to Snowdrift. So that's why there is a sidewalk to nowhere on Snowdrift, because of that sidewalk being built as part of that project.
Yeah, and that's something that, again, we wrestle with that all the time, but, you know, the sidewalk to nowhere now is part of the missing link for the next link, so. I have nothing further.
Okay,
Okay.
thank you, Jim. Next on the list is Public Works. We have a report.
You gonna talk?
Sir, yes, sir.
Just want to say, as acting Public Works Director, I want to thank you guys for
Oh,
the
well,
steps
thank
you
you,
have
Tom.
taken, and I know I speak for my guys too, the steps you've taken to our building now with the new roof,
Mhm.
doors and windows, and what you're doing as far as giving us a storage building and possibly one at the park if you wanted it. So I just want to thank you guys for that.
Well, thank you for stepping up too. You do good work, you know, so thank you too. We appreciate you.
No, seriously, we,
Thank
And all the people in the neighborhood
Good to
that
see
I
you
talk
here,
to
too.
love you, you know what I mean? They go, oh, those guys are the greatest, you know? I hear a lot of great kudos for you.
yeah, a lot of good things about you. There's no good things about us, but broad shoulders.
No, I did get a thank you from somebody that was in the fire department at the bingo. They told we were the best.
All right, anything else under plan, yeah, I'm sorry, Public Works? Planning, there's nothing, recreation, there's nothing, zoning, we have a report. Anything on that report that catches anybody's attention?
No, it's just your permit log of where you're at.
Okay, FRCA meeting was canceled.
Correct.
We have an ambulance report, anything for that?
It was a brief report.
Fire department report.
Oh,
When did we set that meeting up?
We said to come back at the July workshop,
July workshop, okay.
so do not take off for the July workshop.
Oh, easy.
We're gonna meet them separately, or we're gonna meet?
So
as-
During the workshop.
I believe we're gonna meet during the workshop, and we talked about potentially going down there to do a tour if warranted, but they were gonna do a presentation similar to the past, where they give an update of where they're at, their needs, their equipment, capital, training, just basically a state of the department.
And that's July 23rd?
Yes,
Go with
Yes.
that one.
Yes.
yeah, that Thursday.
And we also have to have a meeting in Jacksonville too.
And I will be
Correct.
coordinating dates with you. That was gonna be a separate meeting at Jacksonville that we would meet at the park, and then
With the
whoever
fire
attends.
company.
Okay.
Okay. Anything else under fire? Open space, Chris?
Everything's the same. I'll hit the next three. River Central, moving along, and Historic Society. As you can all see, thank you to the Northampton Area School District.
Hey,
We have
there
a
it
piece
is.
of the friendship tree,
Part of the friendship tree.
donated by Northampton Area School District for the Historic Society.
You're gonna send a thank you letter to them?
We are working on that.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
What happened with open space? They had nothing set up yet?
We have no.
No,
meetings
so
set up.
Okay.
Jim, we just got the final draft comments from Jason. Jim has been going through them, or is done going through them. I still have to go through them, and then we'll be setting up a meeting. But we are done with the final draft. It's gone through the county, gone
It's
through Jim. Now it's just correcting, anything that we see. But I'll be distributing that out to the committee. We'll set up a meeting, go through that, and then make a recommendation to the board. And then at the same time, we'll be advertising for the committee appointments so that we can appoint people to the advisory open space and farmland preservation board.
Okay, great, thank you.
That is one of the 8 ordinances that we're working on.
Okay. Anything else, Chris? Anything
I'm
else?
sorry.
You said for the next 3 topics.
Oh, no, I
Anything?
did it. I'm good with,
You're good?
I'm good, sir.
Alright. Moving on to the Board of Supervisors. Board have anything? I'll take that as a no.
Do have correspondence.
Yes, we do.
Want me to go over it?
Please.
So we have 2 hearings scheduled for next week. The first hearing is Airport Road Partners zoning ordinance validity. The developer is filed a claim on a substantive validity challenge. I'm going to hand it over to Joe to explain.
Yeah, so the Airport Road Partners matter, that is a validity challenge. That is the one where they have challenged the inability to sell and disperse diesel fuel. Our zoning officer made a determination that the term gasoline for automobile gas stations did not include the ability to sell and dispense diesel. So based on our discussions and based on some research, we've come to the conclusion that because we don't have any diesel facilities identified in the zoning ordinance in any zoning district within the township, and it is a recognizable use in the state of Pennsylvania, that it would be best for us to enter into a settlement agreement with the applicant, Airport Road Partners. Brent and I have seen copies of that settlement agreement. We have suggested revisions to it. They have gone back today. The zoning hearing is scheduled for, I believe, next Thursday night, and we would be looking for the board to approve the entry and execution of that settlement agreement, subject to the final review by the solicitor and the township manager.
Thank you.
And that would necessitate us having to go through what's called a municipal curative amendment and all the costs and expense that's associated with public meetings and advertising and everything else for that.
Okay.
We would if we didn't do that.
Right.
Yeah, I said we would have to
So we are looking for a motion to authorize
I bet.
the manager and the solicitor to review and approve, and then have the board adopt or
Adopt it.
execute an agreement stipulation stating that the facts of they are allowed to sell diesel fuel for one specific auto gas station use.
And then we would be presenting that to the zoning hearing board next Thursday for their acceptance.
So moved.
So moved. Motion made by Chris.
Second.
Seconded by Lou. Everybody got it?
Yep.
Chris, you got it?
Yep.
Okay. Questions? Roll call.
Mr. Collins?
Yes.
Mr. Cruz?
Yes.
Ms. Hunsaker?
Yes.
Mr. Unix?
Yes, motion passes.
All right, the next hearing you have is Washington Township's Farms zoning variance. This is for the former ambulance corps property located on Norbath Boulevard in the area of Walnut Street. They are looking at a variance to operate a pallet manufacturing and remanufacturing business. It's a very vague application, but they are looking at doing that. Now, the hearing is scheduled to start next week, but they've asked for a continuance, and they will not be until July. But they're gonna open the hearing. They've expressed to the zoning hearing board solicitor that they would like to continue the matter. It's my recommendation that you have your township professionals attend and offer testimony and evidence at that hearing,
And where is this gonna be?
at the ambulance corps building
Oh,
on
okay.
Norbath. So we've looked at the facility that they currently operate, and we've also looked at other places that they've presented this. And it's not just a building that is located, it's not that activities are just inside the building. So if they do so feel they meet the request for a variance, which is extremely difficult, there would be additional conditions to consider, or testimony added that would give them grounds to deny such a variance.
Did they buy that building?
I think they're in the process, but they have not bought it.
Probably just in their agreement pending this.
Yeah.
All right, so we're looking for a motion to allow our professionals to attend zoning hearing 26-002
I'll make a motion for them to attend.
I'll second.
and partake. Motion was made by Georgianne, seconded by Lou. Everybody got it?
Yep.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Collins?
Yes.
Mr. Cruz?
Yes.
Ms. Hunsaker?
Yes.
Mr. Unix?
Yes, motion passed.
And the last item you have is Lower Nazareth Township's Land Use Assumptions Report and Roadway Sufficiency Analysis. They are updating their Act 209 traffic impact fees, and they have sent us a copy of it for our records. You do not have to act on it. If you so choose, you can make a motion to have the township manager send a letter stating that there is no comments on the plan as presented, but you don't have to do anything.
I did not take the time to review it or anything.
I would not expect you to read a 300-page document.
All right. Board's wishes, no comment, comment? If nobody's read it, I don't see how we can,
I know, I
Yeah, I
can't
see
comment
that.
on it, I didn't read it.
no comment. Okay, anything else?
That's it for correspondence.
Back to public comment. Okay. Georgianne?
I guess we'll make a motion to adjourn the meeting. Thank you all for coming.
Motion was made by Georgianne, seconded by
Chris?
Chris. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Go home.
When you guys decided to table yourselves, I texted Carol and said I will probably be done by 8:30. But, no, but I figured, because I figured it would be much longer, you know, if you guys had a discussion and we had, you know, so.
Hey, Tom, who's that guy down the street?
No, that's, like I said, but I was close then.
Guy that bought that house, Ed Bazinski's house down there in Monocacy, do you know him? The young guy with, he's all that equipment there?
Yeah, that's,
That's the sun machine.
Okay, so it's not for you.
I mean, I wish I could, because I get, you know, all our colleagues will ask.
And quite honestly,
Oh, where?
you can't tell the difference from a
Oh, okay.
workshop meeting to our regular meeting. So there really is no distinction.
He seems like he's a very hard worker. He's like, there's all kinds of stuff there.
So, we're thinking is,